This is Pet Life Radio. Let's talk pets.
Thank you for joining us on 19 Cats and Counting, my fellow kitty lovers. We are super excited. We have wanted this man to talk to us for so long, and he is finally here. You may not know the name Sterling Davis, but I'm pretty sure you know about the Trap King. And that's who we've got today. We are so excited to get into this. We'll be right back after a sponsored ad.
Take a bite out of your competition. Advertise your business with an ad in Pet Life Radio podcasts and radio shows. There is no other pet-related media that is as large and reaches more pet parents and pet lovers than Pet Life Radio. With over 7 million monthly listeners, Pet Life Radio podcasts are available on all major podcast platforms, and our live radio stream goes out to over 250 million subscribers on iHeartRadio, Odyssey, TuneIn, Stitcher, and other streaming apps. For more information on how you can advertise on the #1 pet podcast and radio network, visit PetLifeRadio.com/advertise today.
Let's Talk Pets on PetLifeRadio.com.
Welcome back. I am your co-host, Linda Hall, here with my lovely BFF business partner and, according to my husband, work wife, Rita Reimers.
I'm here. I love the little dancing thing you do. You guys are listening on Pet Life Radio, don't see that, but once we put the video up on YouTube, you get to see Linda's little dancing thing as we go into break.
It's kind of me, you know. You can't say anything that I can't turn into a song and dance to.
Well, that's why we get along so well in the same way. But anyway,
I got spirit in me. Everybody just disengaged because
I don't want to waste time talking to you.
Yes,
I talk to you all the time. Okay.
Thans. Love you too, baby.
I want to talk to Sterling, Trap King.
No
Welcome to the show.
Welcome, Sterling.
Thank you for having me. Y'all are hilarious. Thank you.
Maybe if you can't laugh at life, you're in trouble.
That's a true statement there. That's a true statement.
Right.
Life can be rough. Just laugh your way through it and make a joke, babies.
I was reading a little bit on your website, Sterling, about how you got involved in this. For those people who don't really know, tell us your story.
So, I actually have been into music and entertainment my whole life, actually. I always loved cats and animals. It's the reason I was vegetarian at a young age, but I never was in a rescue or anything like that. I've always done music and entertainment. So it happened literally in between music tours when it hit me that I got into this world. This world kind of ran up on me because I was just trying to find something to do in between music tours. And I saw on Craigslist just a shelter needing help. And it was scooping litter for cats. It was helping with the cats and scooping litter. And at the time I had a cat named Rick James and I love cats. So I'm like, this is easy. This
I can do that. Yeah.
Right.
No responsibility. I just do this and then I go back on tour. But while I was there, I saw how rare it was for men, for Black men, especially to be with cats.
Yeah.
So it was like one of those light bulb epiphany type moments where it was like, I think I need to stay in this world. So
God said, this is your calling.
Right.
I'm finally showing you what your purpose is in life.
Right. As much as I love music, and I still love music, but
Of course.
it was really like, hey, this is what you're supposed to be doing.
What kind of music did you play?
Rap. I did rap. I played when I was young. I actually played the violin.
I took violin lessons too. That's a hard instrument.
It was hard for me because it wasn't cool back then. All the guys.
Well, that's true.
Yeah, they used to make fun of me. Like I was on the football team and they walked by and saw me playing Mary Had a Little Lamb, and it was like jokes.
Game over. You're toast now.
Yeah, it was like way too bad.
I'm just trying to picture. I don't know. Were you always a big guy that, because I'm just trying to picture this big black dude.
Well, he said he was
Mary
playing
Had a Little
football.
Lamb on his violin. It's just I'm missing something here.
You know what? I've always been eccentric, I guess is the word. I've always
it's a good word.
Like Jimi Hendrix and Prince. So it was for me. It was fitting for me to play the instrument nobody else was playing. So
I love that.
Nothing wrong with being
eccentric
here or eclectic or whatever you want to label yourself. There's nothing wrong with being a little different. You know, if you're like everyone else, you don't stand out.
Right. I'm like that was my problem in the military. I was too much of an individual, so it was tough.
Oh yeah, military is major. What branch did you serve in?
Navy.
Navy. My daddy's a Navy man. I have a little special thing. Yes.
You got to tell your dad, hoorah.
Hoorah. Yeah, exactly. Yes. His ship is actually dry docked in Norfolk, Virginia. And I want to go see it someday, you know, imagining my daddy before I was born, you know, and all of his crazy stories, which weren't all appropriate for the air, but we'll
I know that. Yeah. I know some of those stories. I know about them.
Funny.
Where'd you get your tattoo, Dad? We went on leave. I woke up, my arm hurt.
Right.
Good story.
Great story. You see all of mine. That's why I got some tattoo stories.
Yeah.
I'm a tattoo virgin. We keep saying when we finally land our TV show, the first episode, she and her daughter Nikki are going to drag me in.
We're trying so hard. My daughter's got a cat right here with little cat prints across that. I've got a cat on my foot, and I'm like, you have to get a cat on you. And I'm scared.
I'm a big fat chicken, so I'm going to have to be somewhat inebriated.
Yeah. I have to take care of you. All right. We got our plan at least in motion.
Right.
So how did you go from scooping litter boxes to trap, neuter, release?
Yeah, it's a big leap.
So it was really just the litter. I mean, the scooping litter, helping out with the cats. And eventually the CEO, she came to me and was like, do you know what TNR is? You ever heard of TNR? And I'm like, what you talking about? A drug, a dance? Like, I don't know what is TNR?
The new rap group.
A lot of people don't know what that means. A lot of people don't know.
Like, so she came to me with that because she felt like I was good with people, you know, probably a breath of fresh air from what's really usually out there, and probably to help some of the cat ladies. But then I didn't know. So she told me, we're going to promote you to community cat coordinator. Took me through a ton of training. Like, I remember for a while, I was just going to best friends conferences and going out trapping with different ladies that did TNR. So she just trained me up real good on TNR and community cat care. So when she put me out there on my own, I started seeing like, okay, where I could fit, what my niche was. And I fell in love with it because, again, I didn't know. I'm usually the guy that's going to do what everybody else isn't doing. So I knew amongst my friends I was weird. I was a weird cat guy, but I didn't know it was so taboo for Black men all over the world to not have cats or to not.
Yeah, I don't know why that is.
So I was like, okay, I'm supposed to change that. That's what I want to change. So I started to focus on that a lot more heavily.
Do you actually go out and do the physical trapping as well? And you do. How did you feel the first time you did it? The first time you went out to trap, what went on? I mean, were you nervous about it?
I mean, really, the first few times I was going out, I was going with women that had been doing it forever. So it was good. It was real easy for me. It was more so like just fun, bounty hunting. When I started doing it on my own, it was like I had to learn certain things. I had to learn that, okay, my vehicle probably shouldn't look like the the A-Team van or something.
Right.
Like I shouldn't look intimidating when I go in these neighborhoods. So, and then I was like, okay, let me make sure that I inform the community before I go into a neighborhood and not just pop up with traps like, hey, I'm here. I'm about to rescue your cats.
Right.
So it was a learning process.
Your vehicle probably wasn't what it should have been.
Right. I had to learn that you want to have a vehicle that's saying what you're doing so you don't scare the heck out of people coming in.
I'm actually looking at it right now on your website. Right. I'm actually looking at a photo of it right now. I love it. The guy
pulls up, I've come for your cats, right?
Yeah, what's that guy doing?
Before that RV, I had a van, like a conversion van, much smaller than I was living out of. So that the RV now is an upgrade, a big upgrade.
That's nice. Good. I'm sure the people in the neighborhood would, if you weren't labeled, the people in the neighborhood would be like, "What's this man doing creeping around our bushes?"
Right. Stranger danger, stranger danger.
Right.
For those of you listening to the podcast, I'd like to paint a picture for you. So Sterling came on and said that, we weren't wearing our cat ear headphones. So we put them on, and he's wearing his own cat ears and looks lovely. And we fell in love with him at that moment if we didn't already love him.
We right away reached for our cat ears.
Exactly.
Like, okay, we can do this now. And he's holding a beautiful white kitty named Alanis Morissette.
Alanis Morissette. Yes. Hi, she is gorgeous.
Meow.
I've told my husband before when I saw a white cat that I loved, I said, but we don't have a white one. And he's like, these aren't shoes. We have 11 cats and a small dog. What are you doing?
Linda's husband was not a cat person, but he's been converted. He'll even we got him when we were in LA, we got him a kitty cat bathing trunks.
Yeah.
And he'll wear
they're
them.
Obnoxious and I love them, but my husband is very much like me. I couldn't have married him. He's like, I don't give a crap. So yeah, it's amazing. So
he was like one cat, just one cat.
Yeah, so
okay,
that, when he finally gave in, because my daughter and I were volunteering at a shelter and we kept talking about Supra, and finally he was like, all right, one cat. Just one. And, we looked around for flying pigs and, the world coming to Armageddon, anything.
It's hell on fire.
Didn't happen. So, yeah. Right. So we got the cat. And then I said, they really do better in just two cats. We have 11 cats in this house, Sterling. I got to tell you.
And then when she adopted the kitten, he's like, why didn't I adopt a kitten before? Yes. They're so much fun.
Yeah, exactly. Yes. We can't resist the ones, especially the special ones, the FIV positive cats. Rita's got a cat with 3 legs. Those are our cats, right? Like, we're the weirdos that come into the shelter and go, who's peeing on beds? That's the cat I'm taking home, right? Like,
So you're on wheels, Sterling. You're all over the place. Where are you now and why are you there?
Right now, I'm in Asheville, North Carolina. I do a lot of work with a group out here called the Asheville Cat Weirdos. So shout out to the Asheville Cat Weirdos.
Yes.
If anybody listening. And I'm also about to start doing some work with the ASPCA out here too.
Love it.
So I travel a lot between Asheville, North Carolina and Atlanta.
You have to make a stop in the Charlotte area because that's where I am. I would love to meet you. I'm just 30 miles south of Charlotte.
Everywhere. I got to travel the world to go everywhere.
Oh, that's amazing. Yeah, when your home is on wheels. Look, that is Sterling. I know you love this. I know this was your choice. I know you're having a great time, but you literally gave up your life for cats. And that's, no matter what you do, that alone, we're in love with you. It's just over, right? Like, it's just, that's what it is.
I would literally encourage people to really, I think Jim Carrey, I read something about Jim Carrey saying it. He said it best. He was saying, I wish everybody could just get rich and famous so they could figure out what really made them happy.
So true. So true.
And that is like a big deal. Like, you could have so much money and things, but if you could find out what really makes you happy and live doing it, hey,
I gave up a 6-figure job to work with cats almost 20 years ago. And I don't have a lot of money now. In fact, sometimes I'm not sure how I'm going to make it, but I don't care.
Story of our lives, right, Sterling? Like, we got that.
Everybody I talk to, they be like, man, I saw you on TV, and they think I'm rich and doing good. And they found out, they see how I'm living. They like, what in the world are you doing? But I feel good though. And throughout the country, it's a lot of cats I'm responsible for helping them. That feels good. That's a big deal. That's a big deal.
Well, yeah, you're preventing so many births, whether doing the TNR. Yeah, we all love kittens, but it's kitten season now. And we're going to be inundated. The shelters, the rescues, the neighborhoods, everywhere.
Yeah, exactly. And those cats don't have, somebody asked me the other day, I write on Quora about behavior stuff because our big goal is you're getting them off the streets. We're trying to keep them in their homes and keep them from getting surrendered.
Or the other end.
134,400 cats are surrendered just to U.S. shelters each year for behavior problems.
Just for behavior
problems. We can fix those. We can fix those.
Yes.
That doesn't count the ones that people rehome or the ones that people open the door and say, go be free.
Kick out.
Doesn't even count
or
those.
The private rescues. Yeah, that's just so and that's just in the US. So that's just in 1 year. So just imagine it. Yeah, somebody had written to me on Quora and said, I don't get it. What's the point of TNR?
Are you
So
kidding me?
I did the math. I know, right? Like, really? So I did the math and ended up with, 8 billion cats that can result from one or whatever that number was. It was a crazy number. And I said, can you even imagine how overrun with cats we'd be? And then look at these cats. They're getting hit by cars. They're getting attacked by animals. They're getting sick and there's no human to help them. They're suffering. How can we just stand there and let that happen?
It's hard to even think about.
It's very crazy.
Yeah, I don't even know. Like, once you see it, it's one thing to not know it, that it's happening and it's out there. But once you see it and to not make a move, it's crazy.
I know.
Exactly. Now, my big question is, I get trapped in the cats. I've had an escapee once that I had to trap. And we accidentally trapped a feral and she went spazoid. And I thought, okay, I got the trap part. But in all seriousness, what do you do with these wild animals? How do you even open the door? I'd be like,
Well, for one, you have to have a partnership with a veterinarian, right? To do the actual neuter.
Oh yeah. So once you got them in the trap, they're gonna be mad. Like, who wouldn't be? If you go in a restaurant and the door shut and everything, it's like you're gonna be scared. So it's already traumatic, but you cover them up first. First and foremost, you want to cover them up with a blanket or sheet that calms them down, because they don't feel as exposed and out, like they feel real. And I'm trying to get something right now because people usually cover traps, but I would love if we had traps that had something like a feel away type of deal on it that calmed the cat as well while covering.
Sure.
So something that
like
was on the blanket.
Cat calm in the food. Cat calm in the food, Linda.
Hey,
you crazy cat ladies. You know who they are? You know,
there's
crazy cat ladies. Yeah.
I need to talk to Jay and Adrian about that. Yeah, they're my girls.
They're awesome.
There you go. Yeah, we love them. We are like a little bit obsessed. So there are a couple products. My daughter had to move back home.
Can't live without convivial house cat.
Convivial house cat's the other one. Yeah. We'll give you some information. These are our little trade secrets for behavior issues. But my daughter had to move back home after we lost her husband to COVID a year and a half ago, and she had 4 cats and I had 7. So that's how we got 11. And
it was ugly.
It was very ugly. I was just going to move into a hotel and let him call me when it was over. But, I'm a behaviorist, right? But, putting 2 clouders together, especially, her cats were grieving. Sebastian had been, intubated and in a coma for like 26 days before he even passed. So, dad disappears, mom disappears. Now we're at grandma's house. What is happening to us,
And dad never came back.
Yeah. So fighting things for anxiety became our top priority.
I could imagine. Like you said,
this is actually from catfairies.com.
Yeah.
Well, but then we love the cat calm from Two Crazy Cat Ladies too.
Yeah. I use both of those. Yeah. It's cat calm in the meal. And then I like the convivial because it's a spray. So you can spray it in the trap. You can spray it on your hand and pet the cat. You can, so
spray it on a cloth and put it in there.
Yeah. Exactly.
That would be something like that I would do, like for the cover, a common agent. But we don't, once they get trapped and then they go to the clinic, once you got a scheduled appointment with the clinic, with the vet, then when you take them to get spayed or neutered, they handle them. They got their ways. They don't open that door though.
No, they probably, I had a cat that was so anxious. They used to have to gas her while she was in the carrier. That's probably what they do.
She was serious.
Yeah, she was nasty girl. Well, she was a feral kitten when I got her. So some of that feralness that was precious.
Okay. I was wondering. I was going through your list.
What? We have to take a real quick break. We'll be right back. Okay. I'm so fascinated by this whole conversation. We'll be right back.
Molly, here's your dinner. Zeus, that's not your food.
Don't let that happen to your precious cat. Elevate your cat's eating experience with the Cat Tree Tray. The Cat Tree Tray keeps your cat's food off the floor and conveniently located on the cat tree. It's the perfect way to eat. It's a beautiful wrought iron tray that easily attaches to your cat tree and keeps dogs and other critters out of your cat's dish. A must for multi-pet households. There's a 6-inch tray for large bowls and a 4-inch tray for smaller bowls. Purchase your Cat Tree Tray today. Go right now to cattreetray.com. That's cattreetray.com. cattreetray.com.
Let's talk pets.
Let's talk pets
On Pet Life Radio. PetLifeRadio.com.
We're back with 19 Cats and Counting. My lovely co-host Linda Hall and the awesome Trap King himself, Sterling Davis. I'm in love with you
baby.
already.
We are. Yes, we are. I can't begin to guess how many miles you've logged, how much money you've spent doing this, and how many lives you've saved, Sterling. Not just the ones that you got off the street, but the babies those cats were going to have.
Yeah. The babies, there's been situations like I didn't know until I got out there really doing it that cats can be pregnant at 4 months old.
Yes, they can.
Now, I've had cats 4 months
Scary.
old, and I'm thinking, and the vet is telling me, Sterling, thank you. I don't think that cat would have made it through carrying these babies.
Right.
So it would have been bad all the way around. It could have been a real bad situation had I not.
They're almost as bad as
baby.
rabbits. Almost. Rabbits can start at 3 months, cats 4 months.
Yeah.
And cats too, they can get pregnant while they're pregnant. So you can have different fathers.
Yeah, and it's like all of that stuff is like, wow, cats are really out there doing it.
Yeah,
really
they are.
They really
yeah,
are.
they are. I don't know. The podcast people can't see behind me, but I guess
Well,
she
when
got down.
you
I
see
was
the
going to say
video, you will.
the really fluffy Maine Coon looking one on the bed, but now she got off
She's
the bed.
not
And
there.
the gray and white are brother and sister. And the two boys look very much alike. And then we've got this Maine Coon and we're going,
Different
oh,
daddy.
mama.
Different daddy.
Yo, mama.
Right.
And they can get pregnant while they're nursing too. So before they're even done weaning the current kittens, they can get pregnant again. It's really bad.
And seniors, we've seen really old cats.
My
getting pregnant,
Peanut. My Peanut, his mom was 15 years old.
Wow.
I don't know how and then the people are like, I was volunteering with Save a Life Rescue in LA when they brought him in. I don't know how our 15-year-old got pregnant. Well, obviously you let her outside and you didn't get her spayed. Hello.
Right. She wasn't spayed. And
Exactly.
Yeah.
Luckily,
It
she
was a
only had
miracle.
one
We should
kitten.
rename her the Virgin Mary. Okay?
Well, I was going to say
No.
that's the Virgin Mary kitty
Right?
right there. That's
Right. People they just don't know. They don't understand. And the key is education. And not only are you out there doing TNR, Sterling, you're educating people.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, on a lot of different things, because for one, like we were talking about earlier, is again the behavior of it. A lot of times I've gotten into working with people with just taking their cats to the vet on the simple things of like whistle training, clicker training, and leaving your carrier out in the open.
Yes.
So that it's not like that it
I can't
doesn't
believe
come out
people
like
don't
the devil.
know that.
Yeah, so many people just pull it out and be like, I don't understand why when I pull it out, they go running. Stop pulling it out. For one, just leave it out.
To me, that's common sense. And I just can't believe we have to tell people that in our sessions.
Well, you have to understand cats' thought process, right?
Yeah.
You could get a dog to do that. But, cats, strange sights, strange smells. They're both predator and prey in nature. So they don't like change. They don't like new things. You just pulled that out of a closet. It smells different. It looks funny. I got to decide if I can trust it or not for him. And why are you chasing me and trying to shove me in?
Why are you so pressed about getting me in here?
Exactly.
I had to take Oliver in this morning and it was easy peasy. 1, 2, 3. I had to take him in Monday too. He's got a hematoma on his ear. He's having taken care of right now. I'm a nervous mommy because I know he'll be okay, but whenever they have to go under, I get nervous.
Oh yeah.
So let me ask you, so one of the biggest things that we hear is, that people feel that it's inhumane to keep their cats inside, that cats should be able to explore and climb trees and do their thing. What is your answer to that?
That's the thing. Like we have to understand that cats are alive and they have different personalities, different feelings. You have cats that would prefer to be outside. And then you have cats that want to be inside. My girls, both of them are rescued. Neither one of them want to be outside.
Yeah, they've been there, done that.
I can walk them out on a leash, but it's full of treats. And it's after a while, they like, hey, okay. I tried to take my cat Demeter in the snow and she was looking at it like, I don't know what you think I'm supposed to do with this stuff, but we're going back inside. So
she's like, Daddy, exactly. I'm a diva. I don't step in.
Exactly.
So
what are you thinking?
Some cats just love to be outside, and then you got some cats that want to be inside. You have cats that want to do both. I've been in areas where cats are indoor, outdoor. I think understanding that they're alive and they're going to want it to exercise their options like any other thing that's alive, that's the case. But
If you're going to let them out, you need to spay and neuter because otherwise they're out there making babies.
If you're going to let them out, I would hope that they have a collar, they ear tipped and microchip.
Yes.
If you're going to let them outside.
Yes.
So I hope you're taking those methods because if not, they may run into somebody like me, which I do check for microchips.
Sure.
If I catch a cat. So, and if I see a collar, I do take those precautions. But if if your cat gonna be outside, you definitely want to spay, neuter.
Yeah.
And I would definitely get a collar and microchip.
For sure. You might not get it back.
You need to know where you are and who your neighbors are. We've seen and heard things that I can't even repeat without getting ill or crying. Don't. And I don't want to mess up the makeup. I worked very hard on it. So, vanity. I told somebody once, your neighbors may not like your cats. My dad was a GM guy. He got a new car every 2 years. And I remember one day we had a neighbor that fed all the neighborhood cats and, had 8 million cats on her lawn. And my dad came out and there were these paw tracks on his brand new car. Oh man, I've never seen them.
Yeah, that was ugly.
He lost it.
That was ugly.
And we had indoor outdoor cats that have, dug up our flowers to use as a litter box, or, we had one hanging out on a top step by the door. It was so friendly, but he was really full of fleas. And I ended up bringing fleas in my house. You have to understand that your neighbors might not appreciate that cat. And some will let it go like me because it's not the cat's fault, but others will do really awful things.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah. And you can't keep a cat in your yard unless you have a catio or something. So,
we love the catio.
Know your area, know your surroundings.
Are you finding, Sterling, that more men are getting involved in not just TNR, but cat ownership since you're leading the way and educating them?
Yeah, I can see it. I see it coming, happening more. It's what's funny is that I see not only are more men getting engaged, but a lot of it is men that have been engaged and just secret or quiet about it are saying it now, because you had a lot of guys, like I went out looking when I first got started and it was hard, even going to certain cities right now. I'll go to a place and I'll speak somewhere and then I'll have guys later on and they walk up to me like, hey, I got 2 cats.
Oh,
why are we whispering about that? Like, why is it a secret that you love cats? Like, but I see a lot of that now. So I see a lot of new guys getting engaged, and I also see guys that's been engaged and been doing it, not as afraid to talk about
it. More open.
Yeah,
let me just tell any men that are listening right now.
You're probably going to say what I was thinking.
Heterosexual men, anyway.
Yes,
we think that's sexy. Okay. You remember Elijah Jones that worked for us? I mean, that guy's got what is he, like 6'6", big black guy.
What?
And we were shooting something for This Is LA, and they brought a kitten, and I've got this picture with Elijah. Little kitten, and it's like,
that'll do it.
You've never been so handsome in your life, Elijah. This was it.
That'll do it. That's how
that'll do
it. We couldn't get him to adopt one. Not quite.
But
Elijah, are you listening?
You would be surprised, and I've told people so many times, 2 of the things that helped me get guys engaged was the concept of guys finally saying, wait a minute, you be out there all night with all of those ladies? Trapping cats? That's you with all of those women? It's just you? And I'm like, that and remote control drop traps, because it's a trigger and it's kind of video gamey, gadget like.
Right.
That's a fun thing for a guy.
That's a dude thing.
Listen, those 2 things got more guys, helped me get more men engaged than you would believe. Just the whole trigger point of it, of that remote control drop trap. Guys were losing their mind, like, oh, okay, I can do that. That's dope. I can do that.
Waiting for a target. Yeah.
Right. Like, I was like, wow, we are
cat trapping ninjas out there.
Yes. It is a guy thing. It really is. It's girls don't want to necessarily be sitting out in the cold weather and trapping cats. It is kind of a dude thing, and not just men, but the Black community. I saw, what's her name? LaShonda Gifford, something like that. I don't know. We love her. I saw her on a podcast.
She owns the paw shop in Florida. Let's give her a plug.
Oh, yes. I know what I'm talking about.
Yes. You know LaShonda.
Love
her, LaShonda. But she was on a podcast basically about diversity and the lack of diversity. And all of a sudden I was like, oh yeah. And I start thinking, I've never met a Black vet. And I was talking to Rita and I said,
yeah.
Rita had a cat sitting company for over 17 years. And I was executive director for the last 3. And I was like, I think we only had 2 people of color the entire time. I was like, all of a sudden I'm like, wait. So we reached out to her and said, will you be in our podcast? We need to talk about this.
We need to discuss this.
4 people. It's horrible. And it's not that we were turning them down. It's that they
2 ladies and 2 men.
That's the reason why I say diversity is so important. That's one of the things that helped me get into it, because I started, one of my major situations that I always remember is I was returning cats and some guys walked up to me, and I'm in a predominantly Black neighborhood, and dudes walked up to me and they like, hey, white people put tracking devices and diseases in cats and dump them back in Black communities to hurt. And I was like, what? That's not what's happening. That's not what's happening at all. But that right there, that lets you know how important the communication and education has to be, because what are cat ladies going through when they go in these neighborhoods? How are they being looked at? If that's the thing, then you're going to have a lot of people getting ran out of these neighborhoods, and they're just trying to help cats.
Sure.
So the education is so important. Diversity is so important, not just to be able to go in these neighborhoods, but to engage other people, get more help.
Sure.
You got to get more help, because this people literally was thinking that. I had to tell.
I've never heard that one.
Well, of course we wouldn't hear it, Linda, because
I had never heard of it.
Right? Yeah.
I'm sitting there like, man, y'all believe? I was like, why would it be in cats? Why wouldn't it be something that we supposed to typically like? Like, why wouldn't it be pit bulls or something like that? Like, that doesn't even make all the way sense. But that's the type of stuff that can get put out there before you know it. Is hurting the mission. So it's extremely important.
I hate that there's still such a divide between Black people and white people. I really hate it. I don't see color. I mean, I know we have different ethnic backgrounds, and I embrace that.
I mean, I see it to the same extent as I see that Rita's blonde and I'm brunette, but it just doesn't matter, right? Like, she's no better or worse than me. She thinks she's better
those
than me,
brunettes,
but she's not. But see, there she goes. There she goes. Got news for you, girl. This is all Miss Clairol. I'm gray as heck. But anyway, which is kind of like blonde.
You're not only helping the cats, you're helping the neighborhood, because these people don't want their neighborhoods overrun by cats.
Yeah. Oh, you know. I tell people all the time, TNR is good if you love cats and if you don't love cats.
Right.
Humane population control.
Exactly.
Even when a lot of bird people, I get so many messages from bird.
Oh, I know.
Like, bird people, I love y'all. We are on the same team. I promise you, because it's humane population control. So it's better for the birds. It's better.
Yes.
And that's always a tough battle, because people are like, oh, cats are this or that. Trust me, if you love them, it's good. If you don't, it's good.
It's good. Sure. We're going to help you out so they're not overrun. We've done several behavior sessions with people that what triggered the cat's behavior, which made him aggressive and or peeing all over the place, was the neighborhood cats out by the window that they smelled. Cats are territorial. Get out of my yard. I am now going to spray the yard to teach you a lesson. My mother doesn't appreciate it, but that's okay.
Especially if they're not spayed and neutered, because even a neutered male knows when there's a female in heat out there.
Oh, you can smell. I've been trapping. You can smell an unneutered male. You can know. I mean,
yes.
And I'm like, oh, I smell the male.
Yeah. It's a very pungent,
very round
smell.
Oh,
yeah. Exactly. It's and
things the nose a little.
Yeah, it does. And they just, but to control that, people have to get in and do something, and everybody can do something, right? Like, look in your community. Is there a TNR thing in your community? I know our animal shelter loans out their humane traps for money.
That's how you got.
That's how I caught. That's how I caught the orange boy behind me, who is right now grooming himself. Oh, brat. But Kismet. That's my FIV kitty that was adopted. And as I told you before we started, there was a shelter in Waxhaw, North Carolina, that she's was watching this colony, and she's in Wilmington now, and she was watching this colony, and she was determined to catch them, and she caught that orange boy, and he was just purr, love. And
It's like, you're not feral.
He's not feral. And
Right,
he was
right.
just hanging out for protection. And he was beat up, ear mites, fleas, FIV positive. He was just
Skinny.
a mess. Skin and bone skinny. And
He was like,
such a lover, but nobody wanted him. So he got flown to Ohio, and I adore him. And then we got his girlfriend, and I wouldn't have him if it weren't for someone doing TNR.
TNR.
I love that. I love that.
I will tell you, my oldest daughter has a seizure disorder that they just cannot get under control. And once it starts, she always knows when it's coming. And once it starts, nothing stops it. And she came in my room a couple of years ago. Now we keep Kismet on hand. And she said, it's starting. I need to sit down. I need you to watch me. I'm getting hot. And Kismet came in the room, beelined for her, jumped up on her, got close, started purring. I'm going to actually cry, and stopped her seizure dead in the tracks. And he can do it every time.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's been more than once he's done that.
And
That
I
is
have that
amazing.
cat because someone did TNR.
That is amazing, but it says a lot. It should say a lot, though. Wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
that kept my heart for many, many reasons. She keeps threatening to steal him, and people are like, he helps her. You have to. I'm not letting him go. He's mine. So yeah.
So how can people get more involved with TNR, Sterling, in their neighborhoods?
So I like to always tell people, I mean, of course, you can follow me, trapkinghumane.org, follow me on social media, but I always love to tell people too, to look up Alley Cat Allies, their website.
Oh, yeah, I know them. Mhm.
Oh, man, their website is amazing. I like to refer people there. And then just locally, if you go to your local county shelter, you will be surprised at, especially animal control, at how much they would prefer if there's already a group, or if there's not a group, they would prefer a group, because it's a lot on them.
We don't have one
It
here.
is. Yeah. We don't anymore either.
Really?
When I was talking to the lady that owned a local shelter, my favorite shelter around here, and she said they worked tirelessly at a trailer park, and they finally had everybody, but it's just, it just happens again, right? Somebody lets their cat out.
You got it. That's why a lot of people say trap, neuter, return, and they add an M in there for maintain, which is maintain the colony. And that's an important thing. That's important. But once you have that TNR, that colony, and you maintain that colony, it's a lot easier and helpful too, because again, the things that you probably don't want in the neighborhood, the cats can help keep out.
Oh, exactly. My daughter had a neighbor when she was sharing it like a duplex, and the neighbor had a heart for cats, so she used to leave food out to feed the strays. But
Oh, I remember that.
it was untenable. There were cats everywhere. One mama had her babies on the roof, and Nikki said one day she looked out the window and there were kittens dropping,
rolling down.
like snow. And
They were
Mom
okay.
didn't bring it back up. And
Wow.
there's a park really close there, and they were getting hit, and there were cats that were ill or had issues, or one had a wonky eye, and it was too much.
Every city
one cat.
everywhere has this issue.
Exactly. And the city actually forced her to stop, threatened to fine her to stop feeding the cats because it was creating such an issue. But then how do you not feed the cat? Right.
Yeah. And that's one thing. Another thing that people don't understand, because I deal with apartment complexes and HOAs.
Oh, yeah. Those are
and they'll
famous
say,
for
"Hey,
those.
Don't feed the cats, we'll fine you." But here's the thing. Without some type of proper TNR program, the cats, there isn't no extermination. Whatever reason those cats came, even if you could exterminate and pull all those cats out, more will come. That's called the vacuum effect. There's a reason for that. So, but if you maintain the colony, then those cats that are there will be the only cats there, and they'll keep the other cats from coming in.
That's right.
Exactly.
They'll go in like, "Hey, these cats got weird ear tips. They not mating. I got to fight over
Right.
food. I'm out of here.
Right.
It's not
There's
working.
something
I'm out."
really wrong with these guys.
It's weird
I don't
over
know.
here. I'm just leaving. I'm going to another neighborhood.
These are not
I
my
can't
people.
populate here, so I'm not
Exactly.
My
These are
tribe
not
over
my
here.
people. Yeah.
And if you can't physically go out and join and do TNR, you can support. Go to trapkinghumane.org, donate to your local rescues that are doing TNR. Look at your cat. Which one is that?
Oh.
Kizzy?
Look at right back there.
Baby, you want up here?
Hey, what you doing?
He's posing for you.
He usually likes to lay on the back of my chair. I don't know why he's hesitating, but
he
I was
is
like, "What are you
there
doing?"
because of TNR.
That's right. This man does what saved you and brought you here. You should be very thankful. Give him a nice meow. Yeah.
I know we're
I'm
over
disagreeing.
on time, and I hate to end this. We would love to have you back, but any last words of wisdom for people, Sterling?
Hey, I would say, everything we're talking about with TNR, a ton of different opinions, but the alternative to this is death. Okay. That's the alternative. So what we're doing, again, is good if you love cats. It's good if you don't. And as always, you don't lose cool points for compassion.
I love that. That's a good phrase. Yeah,
for sure. Thank you so much for being with us. I hope you'll come back again. I hope you'll come through the Charlotte area so we can meet in person. We'll make sure Linda comes down.
I was going to say, let me know first, woman.
For
You do
sure.
it behind my back, you're in so much trouble.
I would never do that.
I know where you live and I have a key to your door.
I would never do that. Never, never. The lovely Linda Hall, my co-host and everything, including my BFF in life, my work wife, Trap King Sterling Davis, who does such awesome work out there, and Mark Winter, our producer, who gave us the spot on Pet Life Radio. Thank you so much. Until next time, remember, every day is Catterday.
Let's Talk Pets, every week on demand, only on PetLifeRadio.com.